Good evening. Hello. Hey, Bama. How are you? I was waiting. I thought you may have came on, but you didn't. I thought you was gonna come on and play some music, so I said, well, let me wait a little bit longer, and if she don't come on, I'll come on and chit chat for a little bit. Uh, Somebody else is on here. Maybe they in the bushes don't want to drop down to say hello. But anyway, Um, as y'all are coming in, could you go ahead and hit the like button and thumbs up? Bama, can you share me out? Oh, Ma finally did your hair. You did it yourself. Oh, Marilyn, how you doing? I didn't see you on here. This this chat don't it don't it don't it don't move sometime. It just sit here. How are you doing, Marilyn? So you, Bama, you said you did it or Maya did it? Oh, I see. You say she did. It's finally, huh? So what you end up cooking tonight? I know you had to debate about the grilled cabbage. So I know you didn't cook a cabbage tonight, but what did you cook? I didn't cook anything. I had some leftovers. And then of course yesterday I went to the church Christmas party, so I didn't cook yesterday and I didn't cook today. Tomorrow I have an appointment, and normally on Tuesdays I'll stop and get something to eat, but I need to go to the grocery store, so I may pick up something. Well, no, I don't need to buy anything as far as cooking is concerned because my freezer is packed. But usually get my fresh produce and things of that nature, and a few snacks. So I don't really need much. I'm trying to think of what to cook for Christmas dinner. And I have no idea. Kind of burn out on everything. Um, so I would like some barbecue, but I don't. I know my brother won't be barbecuing because they're going to what's that Indo water park? I think it's near Austin or something like that. They're, them and the grandkids are going up there for the weekend, so I know he's not cooking, and I know doggone well my dad is not cooking. So it'll be on me unless I go to friends or family. And I'm kind of burnt out on the ham and the turkey and the or roast or anything of that nature. Anything along those sides, that soul food sides, I'm kind of burnt out on it. Seafood too, because I generally eat fish every Friday, so I would be frying fish on Friday anyway. So tired of, really don't want any seafood. I haven't had barbecue in a while. That sounds good. And if I do get barbecue, I'm gonna have to go to a place here, and I probably would have to go tomorrow or Wednesday morning because they'll probably be packed from selling like their briskets, or people pre-ordering briskets and ribs and sausage and things of that nature. Although I don't know if the price of brisket that type of beef have gone down. I know at one time, the last time I went there to get some barbecue, they said due to the high prices of beef, uh, they had kind of like they was gonna have like limited amount of brisket. I guess they weren't gonna have all the brisket like they would generally have, and so but people usually get them to barbecue them some slabs of ribs and barbecue trays and stuff of that nature. So hey, loving my grandsons, how are you doing tonight? I just figured I would come on since Bama normally, well, not since Bama normally, but normally it's somebody usually come on or whatever, but I didn't see anybody on, no kind of traffic. I know Lakeisha was on earlier. She had a good live. I love her voice. I love her voice. She sounds like she's straight up from Louisiana. I don't know where she's from, but that's how she sounds to me. Ma'am, I know you said you cooking, you barbecuing and doing potato salad. What are you stuffing with your shells? What are you stuffing your shells with? That sounds good. Yeah, the beef was very expensive. That the price of beef is up. I don't know why they said the beef was up or whatever. I think president was buying beef from Argentina or something like that. I don't know if he was buying it here, but it was something. But a brisket was running like $100 and something for a brisket. Uh, and I know that was like 3 or 4 times the amount that you would normally be able to buy a brisket. At least maybe I'm far back in time, but I don't think I think you could get a brisket for under $30 or around maybe a good one around that price. But the briskets were like 100 and something, over $100 at one time. So I don't know if the prices are still like that, but yeah, a few months back. Oh, ground beef and cream cheese. Okay. I've never made stuffed shells. Uh, do you put any sauce on top of it or anything? So that me and cheese and dairy products, we don't get along. But that might would be something. That sounds like something different to have or to eat. I don't know. But anyway, I was out today. I went to Texas State Optical to get well, I went to look at some frames and to see how much the insurance claim they give you so much money toward frames, but by the time if you need progressive lenses, that's what raises your price up. And then they want to do offer you the scratch resistance. They try to put all that on that scratch resistance. What is it, transition lens and all that. I told her I don't need no transitional lens. I wear my own sunshades. I'll take the scratch resistant, and they were putting the distance and the reading glasses and I'm thinking I might have them take the reading off too, because I have my own little reading glasses, and I only do that when I'm at home or when like I'm on here. Oh, tomato sauce and cheese. Okay. Okay, so it's kind of like an Italian dish. Okay, that sounds good. So I just went to I want some bigger frames than what I have. Some little a little thicker and a thicker cat eye glass frame, and they didn't. they had one pair that I saw that I really liked, and I think those were Tory Burch. So I asked the lady I say, "Do you think I could try them on?" So she unlocked them, child, and I put them on. I said, "Oh, okay, these cute. I like these." So I had to put my little reading glasses on to read the price. Child, I almost dropped them people glasses on the counter. $625 for the frame. I say, if you don't hurry up and put them people frame back on there real slow and don't damage them, I say, you know you done lost your rabbit. Amen. Yeah, I say I always got to go and pick out the most expensive thing. But the frames were real. They were really cute. They were really cute frames, and I liked them, and they look good on my face. But I say, I wish I would. Let me hurry and put these things back. And I made sure I put them back on that little rack properly. And that was about the only pair that I saw. A friend of mine have some, and well, that's what she told me. She got hers from Texas State Optical. You know, people tell you anything just so you won't get what they have. Um, but them frames she have on had on look like she got them from Zulu, whatever that place is where you can just order the frames or whatever. So they said that they put my prescription in the computer, and so now what I'm gonna do is go on that website and I'm gonna order me a couple of cute pairs, cute frames, and for them $7 that they be talking about on sale and stuff, and without the just the frame, and I'm gonna take them to TSO to have them to put them in. Yeah, girl, I did step away from the frames, but I had to put them up there safely. Hey Tony, how you doing tonight, Tony? Yeah, I had to put them frames up there safely. When I seen $625, I say, you done lost your rabbit ass mind. Girl, put them things down. And that wasn't including the prescription. So I was like, no. I normally wear my own little shades, my little bling shades over my glasses anyway. So no. I'll spend so much on me some more bling shades. Not that I need another pair, but I'll do that, and then I'm gonna order from that little website where I can just get my little frames and find me some $7 frames, and even if I find some for $25, I'll have TSO to put my frames in, and I'll go that route. But yeah, because the insurance where they give you so much money to use, and then next thing you know, when you they sit down there and start tallying that stuff up, and when she told me, I think she said the first time she said 300 and some dollars. I say, is that my part or that's what the part of that is still the insurance? She say, no, that's your part. I say, what all you have on there? She say, well, I have the transitional and the non-scratch and the. I said, no, 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 no. I don't want all that on there. I says, you can see these glasses that I have. It got a little scratch on them. So I didn't get all that stuff. And I don't want all that. No, no. You take all of that off of that transitional and all of that off. And I'll do with my distance and the reading and the scratch resistance. If I'm going to do it. So, I can see clear now with my glasses. It's just that I was just wanting me some new frames, and I know that, and I didn't have the prescription from 2 years ago, so I knew I was gonna have to have a new prescription. So I went ahead and got my eyes examined, and I got a new prescription, which my it hasn't really changed. So now I want to get some new glasses, but I still like designer glasses and things of that nature, but I'm not uh, so much as to when I was like in my 30s, my 20s and 30s, to get designer frames. I remember back in the day, boy, I had me some Versace glasses. You couldn't tell me nothing. So back then, I paid, $300 and $400 for glasses and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to. I don't want to do that now. I don't have to have designer frames. I want more so fashionable frames than designer. So yeah, so that's what I did. Yep, but honey, I did step away from them frames, baby. Hey everybody that's coming in, welcome into my channel. I'm a new YouTuber, content creator slash reaction channel. I would appreciate if you hit the thumbs up button so y'all can push me out there in the algorithm, and also subscribe to my channel. Of course, you know it's free, and that way I can get my subscriber count up, and then that way when I come on, like I did my first car ride today, and I'll probably do some more. And then, just coming on, I have some, more content coming up, some testimonies. I have to decide what day I want to start. Pretty much will be like story time, and then just share some other stuff that maybe people may be interested in. I know people like to see shorts more than they will, sit down into the chat sometime if they don't know you. But I would appreciate, I have like 15 videos posted. If y'all could just take a look at them, even if you don't want to listen to the video, the whole, to its entirety, at least watch at least 10 minutes of it where it'll count as a view. And give me a thumbs up on it. So, now I wonder where Mocha, normally Mocha be up and out unless she done took her nap. And I'm a look all of our other little people, Leslie and all of them. Where they at? Do I have to do a hooty hoo? Do a hooty hoo for 'em. So that's what I end up doing. Oh, and I have to check to see I might be a billionaire. I need to check my little numbers, child. Check my numbers to see if I'm a billionaire. I'd take 1,000 now or a millionaire. I'll be one of those too. Give me just a little something, something. Hey, Bridget, how are you doing? It's cold up there where you are. Well, send some of that cool air down to Texas. A massive storm. Oh wow. So so the way y'all at in the cabin, is it gonna be raining up there too, or is gonna be snowing up? It's snowing up there, and then where you live in the other part of California is gonna be raining for 5 days. Cause shoot, that's caused flooding. I know for sure here in Houston it would, because it's a concrete jungle out here. They tearing up every piece of uh uh laying down the trees and everything around me used to be woods where they had cows close over here. Now they got big companies that they're bringing in, so all the cattle and the I guess the cattle people then sold off, and now we got a bunch of buildings. And when it rains just a little bit, and sometimes that water just sit there in certain spots. It just sit there for a couple of days, and then other days, it will run off. So, oh yeah, we keep y'all in our prayers, because that rain for 5 days straight is not good. Not good, especially if people clog them those drains and things of that nature. You have to try to keep those things clean, like in front of your home and whatever. Keep that stuff clean, where that water can run off quick. Now, it over here in my subdivision, we don't, knock on wood. Uh, we haven't, flooded, or the water doesn't stay up very long. It normally drains off pretty quick. But in some areas and like off of one of the main freeways, which is I-45, you can rest assured it could rain for about 30 minutes and it's gonna be street flooding over there. And that water will stay there for a while. And don't let it rain all day. It's definitely gonna flood. A lot of areas flood and hold water. So yeah. Hey Jay Gill, how you doing? Yeah, thank you for coming to the live. You leaving work? Oh wow, be careful. I know you glad you off work. But they do need to send something to Texas. We do. Girl, I had to put my air conditioner on this morning. It's on now. I'm trying to get my light bill down for the winter time. That gives me time to catch up. Cause once summertime, or well, not even summertime, the springtime come, you have to crank the air conditions up, and boy, them light companies be loving that. So now I would like to have some cool weather. Christmas gonna be hot. What kind of Christmas is that? What they made songs for white Christmas. They ain't made none for no dry and hot Christmas. Yeah, Miss Bridget, make sure y'all got a lot of wood and stuff. And oh good, yeah, you gotta keep them gutters and all that stuff clear and sandbags where needed. Yeah. I sure hate that. I pray everything go good as far as y'all house is concerned while y'all up in the cabin enjoying yourself. And make sure y'all got some plenty blankets and stuff to keep y'all warm up there as well. I would like to go camping one day or go to a cabin. Oh, I had on I had on a jacket. I keep a little and I keep a shawl in my car. I'm cold natured, so I had on a little velour. I put on a velour when I got out the car. I put on a velour jacket. So when I went into the eye place, because I know when you sit in them places it get cold, and I'm very cold natured. I'm anemic, and so I already know I don't play like that. When I go to church every Sunday, I got a shawl, and I got a different, several different ones with the fur on. Them people be thinking I'm crazy. I be having that thing, hooked up to the neck, but they don't know. Once you get cold and you can't get that, you just can't seem to get warm. So I don't like that feeling. I love the cold weather, but I don't like to be in a cold environment. Not I'm not gonna say a cold environment. I don't like to be where I can't get warm if I need to. See, $600. Mm-mm. Yeah, and see, under that's what I'm shooting for. Under the $100 mark, Miss Bridget, because that'll give me at least maybe hopefully stretch it to 6 months to catch up on things and build my little savings back up. Because once uh the summertime hit or it start to get hot, the light bills are ridiculous, and I can't understand why mine is hits the $300 mark every year, every month. uh this year started getting hot, a little hot in April and May. So from May till what month is this? December, let me see, November. November was the first time I paid a light bill under $200. So I'm trying to get a break. What's going on with YouTube holding people messages for review? Hey Laverne, how you doing? Thank you for coming over. Oh yeah, you always got to go grocery shopping. I don't never go anywhere somewhere different. You might as well go to the store where you familiar at and get the things that you need. And then if you run out of something or if you need something by chance, you can get it, maybe if they got a local market or somewhere close by or something like that. But once you get in there, you don't want to be back and forth on the road. If anything, maybe come out on the porch or go outside. Miss Bridget, are they the part of the mountains where y'all go? Are there bears and stuff uh, out there, or have y'all had any problems with bears? Yeah, I know it depends on the words, but like, who chat I was in? I think it was my Janae's chat. Was it yesterday? She did a live or something like that. Yeah, it was one of the lives, and I caught, and it was like just comment after comment was hell for review, hell for review, hell for review. And I know, depending on what she talking about, we could be saying some things back, and I could see some things, but it was just like comment after comment after comment, and then that's the same thing when Roz was on at one time, and that's why I was telling everybody to watch your comments because keep saying they're being held for review. And I know that we could, say we would say some things or whatever, but sometimes when they would release it and I would read the comment, it would be something simple. So that's why I'm saying YouTube be tripping. In Big Bear, well, Big Bear sound like a bunch of bears up there. That's certain parts of California don't rain in California. It's certain parts that it don't rain in, and then it's certain parts that it rains real bad. Just like they had that flood that time where it had the mudslides, and it was I think Oprah and Ellen and some of them those other stars or celebrities. The area of town or well, Oprah and Ella were neighbors back to back. They stayed behind each other's, but their properties and stuff, they lost their properties, and with it had rained so much, and then it started with the mudslides and stuff like that. So yeah, it gets pretty. Do your husband hunt while he's up there, the deer? Oh yeah, 'cause yeah, but it does snow in California, Alabama, in the mountains and stuff like that. I don't. I guess they have ski resorts up there, Miss Bridget. I know in Colorado, I know that they go skiing up there, and it is very popular. But I wasn't sure about California in the mountains there, or is it more so a area where they go hunting and stuff. Yeah, ma'am, I was listening to another content creator tonight, and he lives down there in Dallas area where like some of them rappers and stuff come from, where they had the accidental shooting or whatever. Um, and it wasn't a handgun. It was a rifle, I guess, with what he said something about a chopper or something. What they call them choppers and sticks and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know what type of weapon it is, but I know a lot of those young guys have them. And my thing is, last night when I did my live late last night, my question was, could anybody answer me? How do they get these? high powered weapons, and these are young, even they were in school, but I mean, you don't know what they did on they spare time or whatever, but they were in school playing football, and I'm wondering where are they getting these high powered weapons and things of that nature from. That was my question. Because I bet if I tried to get one or order something like that, they flagging my name all with the government and stuff. So I'm, in question as to, since, he kind of made light of what type of weapon it was, and he kind of gave a, he's so crazy, he kind of gave a scenario of probably what they was doing or whatever. And even though it was an accident, the guy said he thought it was on safety. Well, probably y'all handling the weapon, probably kept handling the weapon. You could have easily knocked it off for safety, depending on what they was doing. So it's just an unfortunate situation. And I hope the young man be okay. But unfortunately, his friend, uh, he ended up going to jail. So, you know, it's kind of like two people lost out because the one that was handling the weapon, if it was his, they're gonna want to know where he got it from, and he shouldn't have had it, and things of that nature. And then the other one that was hit with it, and he was hit in the neck. So hopefully it, you know, um, maybe it went through one side and came out the other. Hopefully, any fragments or didn't go anywhere else. And have you heard any update on it? not not that kind of. I think it was a rifle, but I think it was kind of with an automatic thing on it. That's what I'm saying. They have these devices where they can put on these regular guns to make it an automatic weapon, or it could have been an automatic weapon and they just called it a rifle. But shoot, Gunsmoke or Daniel Boone. But yeah, so I don't know like I said, he was saying chopper and sticks and ARs and all that. I don't know nothing about all that stuff. So, I do know, and I have heard that they can put different clips on regular handguns to make it fire off rounds like a machine gun or something of that nature. So, yeah, so I don't know. I guess we'll get some updates or read about it or something like that. But yeah, I don't think they should have been fooling with those type of weapons or whatever. But meanwhile, close to the home front here, in Galveston, they had a small plane crash in well, it's the Gulf of Mexico, but y'all president changed it to American something, America's I don't know, but anyway, it's known as the Gulf part of in Galveston out here, and they had 6 victims, 6 people on board, and they were transporting. I think it was a doctor that they said, and I guess a parent, and they were transporting a burn child to the burn unit. I think maybe in Galveston they have like a Shriners hospital for a burn unit, and then also they have another hospital out there for burn unit victims. And then they had I don't know if the 2-year old was one of the ones, but I don't think the 2-year old made it. And there was some people that was on there like fishing boat or whatever. They saw it, and the two men jumped out, and they was able to pull some of them out of the water and stuff, but it still was one body that was unaccounted for. But I'm gonna have to watch it again to make sure I'm getting it right. If I know they rescued some people, rescued them. Now I don't know once they got to the hospital if they passed on, uh, or if they are still living. But that happened today, and the fog was so thick out there till the emergency crews had a hard time. But by the time they kind of like got there, the man had then kind of helped some of them out. So, but they was transporting some kids to the burn unit and from Mexico. I said, "Oh, that is so sad." I say, God be with them, all of them, you know. So that was one thing, and then yeah, Oprah stay in Santa Barbara. That's where the major mudslide. Yeah, I remember that. And Ellen, I remember her saying when she was on her show that Oprah was her neighbor, and in fact they stayed behind one another. Now when you say behind one another, that's not the same as behind one another like where I live at. My neighbor is right there. But I know when she says behind her and Oprah may stay some acres apart from one another. But I do know that they stayed there, and it was some other celebrities stayed in that area. And I remember how their houses, they had gotten badly damaged or either wiped off the slabs and stuff like that. Oh, okay. Oh, he don't hunt. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that ought to be peaceful to be up in the mountains and just watching the snow. And if you drink coffee, and which I don't drink coffee, I like the smell of it sometime, and the cocoa and stuff, and you can just snuggle up and be by the fireplace, and just the peaceful atmosphere. I know it's very peaceful up there. Well, yeah. So, unfortunately, Mother Nature, we don't have no choice in the weather. The climate control is so much going on. The ozone layer, ozone watches. Growing up, I don't remember us having to watch out for that, all of that, or they announcing about the ozone layer and all that. I don't remember that. That to me it's been like the last 10, 15, 20, I would say 20 years been hearing about that. And something else, we have those energy windmills, because like when we was going to church Sunday, I told my dad, I said, look at them airplane propellers. He said, that's not no airplane propellers. I say, well, if it's not, I said, look how long they are. He said, that's those windmills. I say, windmills. He say, yeah, the windmills for energy. I say, so we have windmills. That's what those windmills for energy. And we steady got these highlight bills. He said it attracts what does it attract? Energy. I think he said something like that. Power. And so they got those big old windmills somewhere in West Texas, but we still struggling with all these high light bills. I said that's ridiculous. I said they ain't doing nothing but ripping us off. Yeah, you would. You would be in peace in the snow if you got all your essentials that you need. You got plenty of wood. You got plenty of food. You got plenty of stuff to keep you warm. You have some what kerosene lights or flashlights. So if the power go out, you still can be able to move around. Oh yeah, that I can see it being peaceful. I could see you come going up there and not want to even come back to your neighborhood. I could see that. You escape the hustle and bustle of being in the suburbs or being in the around a lot of people and stuff of that nature. So I could really see that. I could be down with that. Yeah, really can. And the other thing we got in local news here. Now they've been finding bodies washing up in these bayous down here. Uh and that ain't cool. Now everybody had it out talking about there was, a serial person out there that's probably pushing these people in the water or kidnapping and pushing them in the water. Cause it's been men and women. And one of the ladies, I think two people that went to the university, they were saying that they were found in the water and stuff, and then they gonna rule out talking about they probably had committed, unaliving their own self. And I'm like, well, who would try to unalive their own self and then just fall in the bayou? You got to go down some little hills to get to the water. I said, that's crazy. That's, no, somebody done pushed them folk in there. So now the count is up. They found two today. Now the count is up to 34 this year. That's a lot. We ain't never had that before. Nobody being found, a body being found in the bayou. We never had that. But all of a sudden this year, all of this is happening. So to me, the whoever is doing the unaliving the people, since he had gotten such media attention, they probably say I better chill for a minute and don't be doing that because they gonna catch me. And then this food, and to me, I don't think those that was just by um, coincidence. I think somebody pushing the folk in their water because they got a call that a body was floating here near this street and whatever, so they know where to go. And then they said about 30 minutes later, it's another body. Yeah, yeah. I don't believe it. I don't believe it at all. Believe they doing something. What storm we had this way? Bama. Child, what storm we had? Let me know. Them 34 wasn't from no storm. That was some fresh stuff. Now I think one they said today was in the decomposing stage, so they may have been down there for a minute and just washed up. But them other ones wasn't in no decomposing stage. That was some fresh meat. Well, I don't mean to sound like that, but that was some fresh people. Oh, y'all do have them. Those are some big. Those are some big propellers. Um, I mean, those things are long. I seen about. We passed about 10 this Sunday, and then last Sunday I passed about 10. So that's why I was thinking it was an airplane propeller. Um, but I was like, well, I don't think they really have enough space here in the aircraft people over here to um, was to be able to put that together if it was a airplane wing. But he said, no, that's them wings for them windmills for the energy. I was like, okay, well, I learned something new. I know you do. I know you do. Once you go up there, you don't want to come back. Oh, so you don't drive. You let your husband drive. Oh wow, I would love to see that. I've seen it on TV. The field the field where a lot of the windmills are. I would like to see a close up picture of that. I think that is that's amazing. Um, and to think that those big things were going on the pole for a windmill. Those are some long jokers. So uh, I know whoever doing that job is getting paid some good money. 'Cause that looked like a lot of work to do. Oh, okay, Jay Gibbs. So you must have didn't work that far from home, or either you was speeding. I'm glad you made it home safely. Oh yeah, you trust his driving. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I can understand that. My dad drove 18 wheelers and all his life, and I know all of mine. And he did, he did good. He uh, retired with 3 million miles of safe driving. Yeah, so 3 million miles of safe driving at 18 wheelers. So that's a lot of mileage that he put out there. But he was a trainer. He trained guys, and he did over the road trucking. And then like I say, he started training guys. But for a long time, he was solo. And then they asked him about training, so he went ahead and did that. But yeah, he had been driving 18 wheels for probably over about 52 years or something like that. It was I was a little tot when he did that. I mean, I'm sorry, when he was driving since I was little, and my grown age, he still was driving them till he retired. Uh, yeah. Oh, well, that's good. Jay Gill, you stay less than 20 minutes. Ooh, yeah, get out that uniform. I know. I know how that feel. Y'all coming in, could y'all hit the like button and subscribe to my channel? Watch a couple of my videos I have posted. Even the lives, even if you don't stay but 10 minutes in the live, to give me a view, to get me out there in the algorithm. I am a new content creator. I started my channel last week, the middle of last week. I was able to go live then. So I've put up a few videos, um, me talking, and then I did my first car ride video today, which I liked it. The only thing is, um, I guess I would be able to play music if I don't get a copyright on that particular song or thing that I would be listening to. I would ride with the my radio. I love playing my radio when I'm driving, so that would be the only downfall of me doing like car videos with me riding, because my music is my common mechanism while I'm driving. And if I get stuck in traffic, I'm not really paying attention that I'm in traffic. I know I'm in there, but it kind of helps out. So I since I didn't go that far from home, I went ahead and um did my first car ride video. You didn't like you probably didn't like the ins and out of the being in the 18 wheeler, and um they cooking and stuff. I've seen some of them in there frying chicken and doing all kind of stuff. Uh, which I would be like, mm. If I got to do all of that, I'd rather find me a restaurant. Now something simple, to have something to knock on my off my the air off my stomach, like some noodles or a sandwich and stuff like that, fine. But my dad even had a had all those the coolers where it was uh for cool stuff, and then one side or one part of the container for warm to keep that kept stuff warm. And he used to he would eat a lot in his truck because some of those places that he went to uh had snowstorms and they would get snowed in, but he already had his sleeping um bag and blankets and stuff. So he was always, always prepared. And then when he would come back in town, he'd go to one of the local stores and stack up on his vegetables and things, something like that he wanted to eat. And then sometime, like cut onions and stuff like that and season it and put it in the cool part of the ice chest. Yeah, it was one of them that you light in the cigarette lighter. Yeah, yeah. I have, like I said, I've seen a couple of females uh cooking I mean, turning out some meals in them 18 wheelers. I'm like, Lord, you sure gotta have patience to be doing all that. I would be trying to do less as possible, but you have to keep them stacked up. Yeah, they have to keep themselves stocked up because they riding. Oh, you was playing sleep, girl? You crazy? I I have I rode in an 18 wheeler. No, I don't think so. But I rode one time with a friend of mine. He was a repo driver. Well, he still do repo. And me and a girlfriend of mine, may she rest in peace. She passed the beginning of the year. She was an older lady. So my friend say, "Hey, y'all wanna?" He say, "You wanna ride with me tonight?" I say, "Where we going?" He say, "We gonna do some repos." I say, "Yeah, I don't have nothing to do here." I say, he said, "But you and one of your girlfriends want to ride?" And I said, "Yeah." So I said, "Let me call my girlfriend and see if she want to ride." She said, "Yeah, I ain't doing nothing." So it was me, her, and he had a partner helping him. And so we riding and we going a repo cars. So we did one, I guess about 30 miles from the house. And so he said, "I've been trying to repo this one for a while now." He said, "But the man keeps his gate closed." He said, "I keep coming by here." He said, "Because I say I'm a catch him slipping." So lo and behold, we rode by there. The man had his gate open. So they could back in there and snatch the car. But they couldn't get out and open the gate. So the plan was, okay. So my friend he said, this gonna be the plan. He told his friend, he said, what we gonna do? He said, "I'm going to back in there slow." And he say, when I back in there, he say, and when I get the truck straight, he say, I'm a hit it because it had that magnet on there. So he say, "I'm a hit it." And he say, his dogs and stuff gonna start barking. And he say, when he come out that door, he say, "You shine that light in his face so that we can get out of there." And he gonna tell me, talk about, "Y'all need to duck. Y'all need to get low in the seat." I say, "What kind of shit you got us in?" And he backed in there and he hit that man vehicle. I don't know what it was, a car, truck. I can remember. And hit that thing. He hit it hard enough where uh it jacked up. He had the lift already down, and that magnet hit that car, and he was able to drag it. Now, of course you're supposed to secure it. He said, "Man," he said, "I'm gonna get further down the road before I stop." So he did that, and that man came out of there, and he shined that light up in that man. Girl, that man came out there with a shotgun. I say, oh my God, look what kind of mess you done got us in, baby. You should have seen me just ducking. I was like, oh my God, oh my God. I said, that man gonna come down the street running behind us. And so he did, run out and stuff. But the guy kept shining that light up in his face, so he wasn't able to shoot properly. And my friend sped on down the street, and he said, well, we gonna have to hook it up. I said, you better not stop now, you better go. You better go a few more 100 feet. I said, don't you stop this truck right now. And that man been and ran up on us. So he went a couple of more 100 feet, and then they both got out, and they secured the vehicle and stuff. I say, man, my heart is beating so fast. You done got us in some mess. So okay, so that was one. So then he gonna take us down. We driving toward Beaumont, and of course we still unfortunately have some towns, and this is one of them, called Viter, and it's off of I-10 headed toward Louisiana. And if you are darker color skin, you don't stop in that you don't stop in that town. You keep it going. You better put your gas or get whatever you got to do before you get to Vita. Cause once you get to Vita, you better keep on trucking. So we we going to the going he we bobbing and weaving us in the backwoods and stuff, trying to find these cars that were, that he had to repo. So we found one of them, and so what he did, he had a dropping point where he had like about 3 cars he needed to repo in that area. So he had a dropping point where he would, once he got them, he would drop them, and then when he got almost to his third car, a truck he repoed, he radioed in to the person with the transport truck, and would tell them where they were at, and so they could come and pick them up and take them to the tow yard. So the finance company or whoever, the banks or whatever, could get them. So okay, we going down in the woods, so we cool. We 2 cars, we 2 cars down. Then we in this area where we in the backwoods or whatever. He stops at the we stopped at a shell station, so we supposed to get out and get us some snacks or whatever. And he got out. He had gotten out first because I was moving a little slow. Me and my girlfriend. So him and his buddy, they was moving out. They hadn't got out, and so he got to looking around, and he told his partners, when the lady in the gas station saw him, and she picked up the phone. And so he saw some other characters around there, and he told his partner, he said, get back in the truck. He said, get back in the truck. And by the time he got back in the truck, I said, why are you getting back in the truck? He said, oh, no. He said, we're in a good old boy town. He sped off. And I was like, oh, my God. You getting us in some shiggity tonight. And no sooner than we pulled out the service station parking lot, here comes some some of them boys and them trucks or whatever. I say, man, you better try to get us out of this area. And then we seen the sign. I say, you better try to get us to I-10 in 10 minutes. I-10 by 10. And we got to I-10 and looked at the sign. And while we was in Vida in them backwoods, I say, baby, they was gonna have 4 lynchings back here. I say, oh my God. I said, after you finish this last one, I say we need to head back to Houston. So by this time it's in the wee hours of the morning, and he tired and stuff like that. And him and his partner, they tired of driving and stuff. And I told him, I say you bobbing and weaving or whatever. He said, man, you gonna have to drive. I said, boy, I ain't never drove no record truck. He said, it's just like driving, he said, come on. He said, you gonna have to drive. So I got on in, and I drove the record truck back so far, and then when we got so far back, in Houston, he went ahead and took over. He had got him a little power nap and took over. I say, shoot, I did good. He said, yeah, you did good, and we had a car on the back. So that was the exciting thing for me at that time. But I told him, you done got us some shiggity tonight. So I say, you do all kind of crazy stuff. But I didn't know, what I was into it. I knew he did it, and you see how people be jumping in their cars and trying to get their car off the record company, off the tow truck and all that kind of stuff. But the we didn't have that. We didn't have run into anything like that. But yeah, but that's the I told him, I say, man, I say, boy, we done been into some stuff. Cause we had rode all in Beaumont, we was in Port Arthur, all the surrounding areas that he had to, like they be talking, check his traps to see what these cars were. And he was about his money, so he was gonna be driving all night or whatever. And so yeah. And then sometime when he'll be out repo, if he be in my area, he say, man, he say, I got a car in your area, and he say, I'm trying to catch him. He say, you mind like tonight, if I come through, I could just back in your driveway and just, if I need to give me a couple of minutes of sleep, I can sleep and then try to catch these people. I say, yeah, you could do that. But he used to like to be a prankster too. He used to I remember one year he gonna come and uh take my when I had gotten married, he gonna take my Christmas decorations out the pull up some of my poinsettias and gonna set it on the porch, and then gonna put a repo paper on my porch, and then go talking about then go call me and say, man, I was by your house or whatever. And I say, you was by my house? He say, yeah. He say, I flashed the light in your house and everything. You got such and such kind of furniture and all this and kind of stuff. I say, boy, just good for my husband been and woke up and shot you right between your eyes. Um, and I say, you didn't come by my house. He say, look on your front porch. So I went out there, looked at my front porch. Sure did. He pulled up some of my poinsettias, put them on the front porch, and wrapped the repo paper to show me he had been by my house. I said, oh, okay. That's the kind of dirty games you want to play. I did the same thing to him. I had one of my little girlfriends, and she used to love to do some little devilment, and found his house. And what? I think I wrote him a note or put a card in his. And I said, okay. I say, this the house right here. I said, get out. I said, put the card in his mailbox. And so she put the card in his mailbox. Boy, and I drove off. We just laughed and sniggered all the way back. Oh, we was cracking up. We was cracking up. So I knew that he went to work in the wee hours of the night. So I called him on this phone. I say, yeah. I say you did me dirty by picking up my poinsettias and putting them on the porch with that repo paper. I say, good thing I got that paper first. I say, but that's okay. Check your mailbox. I left you a little present. Boy, he had to make a U-turn and go back home to get that the lady friend or whatever he was staying with before that woman went to that mailbox. I said, uh-huh. I said, don't play with me. I said, you want to play? I said, we gonna play. I say, yeah, don't do to me what you don't want me to do to you. I bet he said, oh, now we ain't gonna play them kind of games. I say, exactly. I say, you thought you was safe, nestled up in a whole nother little city or about 30, 40 miles from me. I say, but you don't know, I'll roll too. And I said, I said, and I know where you live at now. So yeah, you knew where I stayed at, but I didn't know where you stayed at before. I say, nah, I know where you live at. So play those little mind games if you want to. I bet you he ain't play them games no more. He didn't play them games no more. But that was some little fun times that I had, at sometimes, in my couple of years. some odd years back. That was just a few things, But I wasn't a troublemaker. I didn't cause trouble for nobody. I was a good girl. I've always been a good girl. But I like to have fun. But he wanted to play that little dangerous game, so I said no. I said I'm gonna get you back. I don't know when I'm gonna get you, but I'm gonna get you back. I said it to myself. I said I don't know when I'm gonna get him. I say, but I'm gonna get him back. And I did that to him, and he couldn't believe it. You did come by my house. I said, uh-huh. Yeah. I say you had the door open. I said, you got a fish tank in there too, don't you? He was like, you seen all of that? I said, uh-huh. Sure did. I wasn't lying either. Sure did see a fish tank up in his house. I said, uh-huh. Yeah. You don't want to play them type of games. You got your little boo over there. I got mine over here. So we ain't gonna do that. But he's a good guy though. We still friends now. He's still back doing what he doing. He had moved away for a while. He went down there to Colorado, and I guess it got too cold for him, so he moved to Louisiana. So he back in Texas. So he's doing the same thing, but uh, I done got a little old. I ain't riding shotgun no more. Cause that one with that came out there with that gun, and then we got in that little sundown town, uh, what they call them, that little sundown town where you ain't supposed to be down. And I said, nope, 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 not tonight. Yeah, but he backed back, and he was like, man, just get in the truck. Get in the truck, man. Get in the truck. And he jumped in the truck and he burned off. I was like, why are we leaving and we going so fast and whatever? He said, man, I said, I told you I had to use the restroom. He said, man, I'll get you to a restroom. Just hold it. And then when we got further down, he said, y'all didn't see them people pulling up to that service station? He said, you didn't see all them people suddenly pulling up to that service station? I say, no, I didn't see all that. He said, I did. He said, soon as I got out the truck, he said that woman picked up the phone, and whoever she called, they came up running. And he said, that's why I told you, don't you get out the truck. And he told me, man, get back in the truck. So I said, wow. That was a wild night. That was one wild night. But after it was all over with, we laughed and we had a good time. I say, Lord, thank you. You watch over old people, children, and fools. I said that particular night we were some doggone fools riding and doing all of that. I said y'all have some dangerous, they really do have some dangerous jobs. Yeah, and then one of the ones we went repo, uh, it was a preacher, and he then hid his car at his girlfriend house. He done hid his car at his girlfriend house in the yard, and we pulled up on it, and he say, that's the car right there. And so he looked at the license plate, and he said, I'm finna get out. He said, I got some black trash bags. He said, I'm finna get out. He said, when I go up to the door, I'm gonna check the VIN number. So he went up to the door, and he asked for the man. And the lady say, well, he's not here. And he said, I'm with, he told him about what repo company he was with. And he said, I'm getting ready to repo this car. And so she called the pastor, and he like, man, don't take my car, you better not, blah blah blah. He say, now, pastor, I'm gonna give you an option. He said, I got two black trash bags, and she can go in the car and I'll let her get all the stuff out of the car. He say, but my truck is already backed up in the yard, and all I gotta do is tap this car, and it'll be on the hook. And he said, I'll pull it off, and I'm gonna pull it off with everything you got in the car. He said, now I'm trying to be nice. I'll give her these trash bags. She can go in the car, get all your stuff up out of there, so you don't have to be worried about some of your stuff coming up missing. Oh, but it was so funny that he hid the car. He married, and the preacher, and he gonna hide the car at his woman house. Boy, that was so funny. I say, see, God don't like ugly. Then got your car repoed from your girlfriend house. Now your wife gonna wonder where the car at. So that was some stories riding with him. But that was fun though. I think I rode about 2 times. No, I rode about 3 times because one a couple of times it was me and him, and we was just riding and looking for cars and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I think that particular night we might have got one or two, but they were easy to get. So yeah, but that's from being, I ain't gonna say young and dumb because I was mature, but I didn't know the ins and out of repo drivers. I knew um they would get the calls and stuff like that, but I didn't know how a lot of times that they got them and how it worked and stuff like that. So once I rode with him with the type of record that he had, I know how to understand and see how they hook the cars up or whatever. So yeah, but that was fun. So y'all, good night, Miss Bridget. Yes, I have a channel. Watch some of my videos in your spare time. Let me see. Have I missed anybody? Have people coming in and out, in and out. Okay. But anyway. Okay, Bama, you're not gonna come on tonight playing any music, are you? It's a little late. It's almost 12 o'clock. I'm waiting on your response. Oh, she said good night 30 minutes ago. Oh Lord. Well, you know me. You know I get to talking and I was telling a story and I wasn't actually looking at the chat at that time. I wasn't. Yeah, because Miss Bridget usually have to get up early in the morning. I don't know if she completely off or whatever. She usually run her daughter's business or whatever, so she normally gets up early in the morning, but she probably getting her stuff ready for the cabin. Okay. Well, um, that time went by quick. I don't know why my car ride I did earlier kept going on private, and I had to keep trying to take it off of private. I don't know what that was about. It didn't get many views because it stayed on private for 3 or 4 hours after I had did it, and I had to keep taking it off of private. So I don't know. I'm still learning the ins and out of this YouTube stuff. Uh, to see what's what. I did go make over my 100. I guess sometime this morning I saw it. I had over 100 subscribers. Well, I'm a little bit over that now. Um, but they slowly but surely coming in. It's slowly but surely coming in. So, like I said, it's a slow process. It's a long way to 4,000 hours. But, like I said, that's okay. I got plenty stories and testimonies to tell. And I'm just going to come on and just start talking and try to look. When I get into the story, I probably won't be looking at the chat as much. But when I start, I'll be looking at the chat before I start telling my little stories and stuff. So I done been on here an hour and 15 minutes. Y'all that's in, if you haven't hit the like button, can you please hit the like button? Get me out there in the algorithm. I'm a new content creator, so please subscribe to my channel. That way you'll see when I come live. Uh, I am a content creator slash reaction channel, but for the most part, I will try to do more content on myself. do some story times, uh, and upload some, some shorts and stuff like that. Let's do some things about me. Um, I know that I get out there real quick if I was a drama channel or I start some drama or bring some mess, but I really don't want to get off into that. So I'm just going to try it this way first. And if it move, it move. I'll take whatever I get. I'm not doing it for the money. Um, because if I was, I'd be on here more trying to get it out there, and I probably would be in a beef sector or a drama sector. But since I'm just trying to do a chill sector where I can just talk, and people that work the third shift or whatever, they can come on and listen while they working and things of that nature. So for all you third shifters out there that are up and working and things of that nature, or people that may be up cleaning their house or whatever they're doing, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. And that way, when I come on, I will try to do some late night lives. That way, I'll give you something to listen to for a little bit. And like I say, I am a chatterbox. I do love to talk, and that's it. If you have a subject that you want me to discuss or us to discuss, leave a comment under the video. If it's not a negative or derogative comment, I'll respond. And if it's something good, then I can bring it to the channel, and me and some of the other people that tune in, or you, we can engage, y'all. We can all engage in the conversation. So with that being said, y'all have a good night, and I will talk to you later. Bye bye.